Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jeff from CapEx Cards. The past several PSA reveals that I've done on this channel have been for vintage cards, and I've explained as I went through that process how kind of disappointing the results have been, how hard it is to get high grades in vintage cards. And I mentioned that, I was turning the corner a little bit around the holidays into more ultra modern stuff. Well, this video today is basically the first chapter in that PSA grade reveal for ultra modern cards. It's just 7 cards, so we'll go through it real quick. I'll show you the grades, and then we'll take a look at the costs and potential ROI that I had for this order. And if you see anything that catches your eye in the video, the link to our eBay store is down below. And don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think of this latest PSA reveal of ultra modern cards. All right, first card up here is a 2023 PRIZM Draft Picks Lamar Jackson Snakeskin. And I picked this one up at an auction back, again, probably October, November. And honestly, just based almost entirely off eye appeal. Also, Lamar was hurt a lot last year, so I knew his prices were down. And this could work out really well in my favor in the sense that they got the new coach now at the Ravens, and hopefully, Lamar gets a little bit of help. But either way, this is just a really cool looking card. I'm hoping to get about 150 out of it, something like that. We'll have to see. Obviously, we're headed into the cold stretch of football, so I'm anticipating that this one will sit for a little bit. All right, next up is the first 10 of the batch, and I think it is my first 10 since starting this YouTube channel. Now, keep in mind, all the other videos were vintage submissions, but that was one of my key frustrations, was sort of like the glass ceiling, if you will, on how high they could get. But here we land in my first modern baseball PSA submission. Guys, I've learned so much. I've studied a lot and I've read a lot, but I've learned a lot about baseball. Ethan Salas is a guy who was also injured last year. He's the #1 prospect in the Padres organization. He's known to be a defensive catcher. We'll have to see where this one goes because he's been injured. His prices were certainly a little depressed. But this 2025 Chrome AQUA Geo Gem Mint 10, and it is also numbered to 125. But I did not pay very much for this card, and if he just can come out of the gate and have a little bit of a rebound and or get traded, you never know how that goes too. Hopefully this one will trend up. Next up, we got a Jack Campbell 2024 Mosaic White Sparkle. This one ended up getting a 9. I made a couple mistakes on this card. Most notably, I thought it was his rookie card, but it's actually second year. That's okay, though. The other reason that I bought it was just because I really love the color match on it, and I thought it was a cool card. I like Jack Campbell a lot. I love watching him. So I'm sure I'll be able to find the right buyer for it out of the Lions fans. Now, getting the 9, a little disappointing, but as I look at it with a little bit more training, I suppose, of my eye, you can tell that you have a smaller gap here than a smaller gap there. So if anything else, they definitely had some room for a 9 just on centering alone. But either way, man, this is a cool collection, or excuse me, collector's piece for somebody's Lions collection. And maybe when we get closer to football, I'll be able to sell it. All right, heading back to baseball, and another 10 that I got in my first ultra modern submission. We got Cole CARRIGG with the auto Gem Mint 10. He's one of the Rockies' top prospects. He'll also be playing in the World Baseball Classic, so there's a lot of potential for Cole to come out of the gate, hopefully make a strong impression. Either way, this is a cool card. Happy to get a 10, and of course the autograph as well will definitely help the marketability. All right, next up we have a bit of a disaster here. This Jackson CHOURIO got a 6. And I knew it had a corner. This was a bargain box purchase. that I didn't spend enough time inspecting. I really liked it. I like Jackson CHOURIO. I don't have a picture of the back, and you wouldn't be able to see it very well from an image anyway, but it has a large, like, thumb-size factory indentation on the gloss of the card on the back. My son picked it up. When this came back, I'm like, Jesus, 6, like I can see maybe a corner here or there or something like that. But I wasn't, I wasn't expecting a 6. Obviously, I would have never sent it in. That makes this one essentially, it might even be worth less than raw. But we had some fun with it because my son wanted to, he's younger, so he sees people breaking stuff out of slabs, to resubmit. We're not going to resubmit this one, but it was a good opportunity to let him try his own cracking experiment, if you will. So at the end of the day, my, almost $30 or whatever I put into Jackson CHOURIO made for a fun afternoon activity for my son. All right, next up, we got this Mike Trout stained glass green PRIZM. This is 2021. It got an 8, which unfortunately is not really good enough from an ROI standpoint. If you look at it closely, I think the right side is obviously thinner than the left side, but it must have got dinged on something else too, maybe a corner or a surface thing that I didn't see, because I think the 9 would have been okay, and that's probably why I ignored the centering and sent it in. Also, this is back in November, and I've really kind of increased my, submission standards, things that I would send in versus things I'll take a chance on. So perhaps with this one, once again, it wouldn't surprise me if I got excited that I got a cool card. I think this is a cool card, and even though it's not worth a fortune graded, it is certainly worth more, and we all know that Trout is, kind of buy low right now. So maybe I just overlooked it in the excitement, but either way, it didn't cost me very much. We'll see the final numbers when I pull up the spreadsheet. All right, and final card is yet another 10. So ALFREDO DUNO, he is a catcher prospect for the hometown Cincinnati Reds here where I live. Now, right now, I wouldn't say DUNO is like the hottest prospect in the world, but he definitely is building a following, and he's a power hitter. So he's going to make headlines. I really just need him to come out of the gate in spring training and have a good showing. But this is a great card to have. Autograph. It's a 10. It's a variation. And of course, with me living in Cincinnati, I know that eventually I'll be able to find a buyer for this card. All right, let's take a look at the numbers. This is a spreadsheet I use for all my cards. You got the cost plus shipping, so tax, whatever, sort of the bottom line that I spent on the card. $25 for grading. That's a number I'll have to adjust going forward, but I use GameStop for everything. So the stuff that was in this submission did not cost more than $25 per card after shipping, everything all included. I'll have to adjust this number going forward because it's $25.99 now, plus $5 or so for shipping. Bottom line, Lamar Jackson, total cost of $103. It's a 9. I feel pretty good that at least near football season I can get $125 net out of that one. We'll have to see how it goes. Jack Campbell, total cost of $37. I'm basically going to break even, if not lose a couple bucks on that. And a lot of it is probably because I overlooked not only the centering, but I overlooked the second year part. I really wish that was a rookie card because I think it would have done better. ALFREDO DUNO, total cost in that one of $48. Might take a while, but I feel pretty good. I can get $100. Just need him to come out strong. The Mike Trout, total cost of $33. Probably going to net about $25 for that one when it's all said and done. The Ethan Salas, total cost of $27. That was a bargain box find. Should be able to net about $75. Jackson CHOURIO, we talked about, was garbage, got a 6. So we'll put net sale of $3, even though my son now has that card. And then CARRIGG, another bargain boxer, Total cost of $28. That one should net about $75 as well. All right, so let me see these comms. Total cost of this submission was $306. If I hit my net numbers, you would end at $443. So definitely some profit in there. Not too bad for a guy who's still learning, and for a guy who got a few baseball cards that, you know, basically I knew very little about anything past Ohtani and Judge. So I'm sort of proud of myself, so to speak, on some of these cards. We'll see how the next slots do. All right, guys, so there you have it, the first Ultra Modern PSA submission here on this YouTube channel. Honestly, it feels pretty good after going through the vintage stuff and, you know, maybe eking out a win or two out of 7 to 10 cards, and then the rest of them just being huge disappointments, both from an ROI standpoint and an opinion standpoint. From what I sent in, and just realizing slowly over time that this vintage game, at the prices that I was paying, simply wasn't going to work. This feels a lot better on the modern front. It makes a lot more sense. Now, all that being said, I do have a lot to learn. I've kind of got the gist of the parallels and the numbered and the autos and whatnot, but I've had to learn a lot more, particularly in baseball, that I haven't followed closely for many, many years. So that part's been interesting, but I've had a lot of fun reading about the prospects, the rookies, young guys, stuff like that, staying away from pitchers, except for Paul Skeens right now. Just focusing mostly on batters, guys that are close to being called up / into their first full season, you know, give or take hot names. So you'll definitely see more baseball coming through. And I have a couple other alternatives to just grading NFL cards that I'll share with you in an upcoming video. Let me know what you think of this latest batch of PSA cards and how I did from sort of a beginner standpoint. I hope everybody's doing well. We'll see you on the next video.